Hey, listen, couple things. Good morning, first of all. Good morning. All right. I want to talk about something real quick. A common theme I'm hearing amongst the population. Um, I will join the Air Force next year. Um, you know, statements of that sentiment. Waiting to join the Air Force. Is that a good idea? Is there a rush? Is there a urgency that one should have, in regards to the timing um, during today's climate. Um, this political climate is different. Um, doesn't matter. No, does the president, you know, factor into my joining the military? Uh, Certain biological issues that we're experiencing. Is that a factor? So, short answer, no. The short answer is going to be no. Um, Couple things. Nothing is going to get better. Uh, yeah. If you look throughout history, first of all, with every major movement, um, progress is not achieved until someone dies. In a lot of cases, many have to die for there to be any amount of progress in certain areas. You know, and the true leaders are well aware of this. In many cases that they prepare for it. They talk to their families about it. Not to get on that tangent, but um, I want you to I want you to hear me when I say uh, everything that you're witnessing in today's society and today. Watch the news for any amount of time. You will see very alarming things transpiring. Uh, you may not want to hear it. You know, I personally don't watch the news. I've turned it off probably since March because it's highly repetitive. And what you hear continuously is what you will learn to believe, and it will control the narrative that plays in your head. Nothing wrong with being informed, but nowadays we tend to get a saturation effect, where what's important, what is factual, is surpassed and completely overlooked and replaced with speculation and what's interesting and what's intriguing and what's going to get the clicks. So to answer the question, the title of the stream, you should not be waiting for a perfect time to join the military. There will be no perfect time. You probably already knew this, but just allow me to further articulate. There will never be perfect time to do anything. Um, I'm not sure, who lied to you, but a little truth is not going to hurt. A little red pill. Mess around and get this whole video demonetized. Um, there is no perfect time to do anything. You know, time is a currency, and you must utilize it properly. You must realize that it won't be replaced with, oh, you get an email and the recruiter calls you and walks you through the door and say, hey, you're my only client right now. You're my only focus. I can prioritize all my efforts to helping you get the perfect job for you and your family. And I care about your desires. There will never be a perfect, you know, utopia where you walk into the office and everything aligns perfectly for you. It doesn't happen. It won't happen. All you have is a window of opportunity. That's it. Um, This video doesn't need to be drawn out. All you have is a window opportunity of, do I qualify? Am I healthy? Do I have the ability, the opportunity? Do I have to move a couple things around? Yes, pay some bills, work out a little bit, start running again, start working out again. But do I have a window of opportunity to do this? Am I age appropriate? You know, do I have a level of stability that allows me to take a risk? A lot of you are waiting for the perfect weight, the perfect, bank account, numbers, the perfect credit score. Keep waiting. Especially those who are, you know, you recently graduated high school or what have you. Um, a lot of you are just kind of lost. You don't know which direction to take. Pick a direction and go. Set a date for yourself. September 30th. October 1st. And within reason, because I know a lot of you would love to have that clean, fresh start January 1st. Avoid that trap. Nothing wrong with New Year's resolutions, but it is indeed a trap to wait till January 1st, mainly because this last third and fourth quarter of the year, it's everyone's excuse to do nothing. The holidays, you know, the season's changing, and everybody trying to get booed up, and of course, I'm in Alaska, so of course we making moves. It's cold up here, um, but by no means is that a free pass to take off the last third and fourth quarter of the year. A lot of us spent, most of us spent, you know, 2020 under lock and key, you know, quarantine. No one could have planned for it, more or less. Financially, there could have been things you could have done. We're past that at this point in terms of regret, in terms of I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have planned better here. I wish I would have known this was going to happen. Tragedy, it plans itself. Viruses, they plan themselves. Recessions, they all plan themselves. And now what? We make moves. We take what we have in front of us. We have time. We have, the resources that we have allotted to us, that we've earned, that we've exchanged our time for. And then we make decisions based off the current circumstances. That's all we can do. So, what's today's date? Let's make this a practical video. It's August 25th, 6:45 here, 6:45 a.m. I would challenge you. Let's say you have, let's make this a very practical video. So, for those of you who have made zero contact with the recruiter, you've been watching videos, studying, researching, pontificating, you know, you've been musing, thinking, asking questions. You're probably in my DMs, you're probably in other YouTubers' DMs, you're asking questions, you're studying, you're on the Air Force website, you're asking questions about Space Force and is that a real thing? And can I join the Space Force versus the Air Force, or do I go to the Marines because they got fancy uniforms, or do I go to the Army? You've been thinking. By no means is that wrong. I tend to overthink myself. I love analyzing. I love making a proper and right and precise decision that is long term effective. Right there with you. But at some point, you have to stop. you have to stop overdoing it. Overdoing it. Set a date. It's August 25th. We're about to enter the third, or probably the fourth quarter at this point. Probably already in the third. Set a date. So I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you. October 1st. is plenty of time to get your life together. It's a month. For a lot of us, it's two paychecks. A lot can happen in 1 month. They always have these 30-day challenges where, you lose this certain amount of weight. You have this, certain amount of time to achieve a set goal. I challenge you, October 1st, you take an action. You're done studying, you're done researching, you're done trying to be in perfect shape, you're done trying to get your car up to snuff and check engine lights. You have 1 month to put your life in order. And by order, I mean not perfection, but order. You're just addressing the chaos. Meaning your checking account does not to be it doesn't need to be running over. Your savings account does not need to have, two commas in it. You need to be at a place of order, meaning whatever pain you're experiencing, whatever, leakage you're experiencing, something that's not in right standing, you address it. If you know you can't run a mile without stopping, mile and a half without stopping, that's pain. Address it. If you walk up the stairs and you can't breathe, you that's pain. If your check engine light is on in your car, especially if you have a family, that's pain. Address it. Maybe you don't buy Netflix. You cancel Netflix, you cancel Hulu, you cancel, the extracurriculars, and you address the pain in your life so you can actually take a risk. Because there's nothing worse than someone who tries to take risk in the midst of chaos. Some might say, the world's in a state of chaos right now. So you can't change it. You have no control over it. You're not a victim. You're one amongst millions who are experiencing something similar to what you're experiencing. Now what? So yeah, address the order. The purpose of order is to identify when something is wrong. The purpose of pain is to identify something that is out of order. We constantly complain about feeling pain and experiencing chaos, experiencing turbulence, but that's how you know something is out of order. Don't put a band-aid over it. Address the root cause and realize I have to do this in every area of my life. I don't need to be perfect, but I need the ability to recognize when something's out of order. And that's one of the major issues in our society is that we have placed so many band-aids in our life that when you go to take a risk, you think your life is stable and it's a wreck. MEPS is one of those places where their main job is to help you identify disorder. The recruiter symbolizes and is the first step, the first gate guard into identifying areas of your life as a recruit that is out of order. He's the first person, she's the first person to stop. Ask you basic questions. Have you killed anyone in the past, 30 days or so? Oh, you have? Oh, okay. Well, let's get this reward money. So the first roadblock. And then once you get past the recruiter, because I constantly reiterate that the recruiter is not your friend, they're not your mentor, they are an obstacle. They're your ticket. You go through them, and then you get to MEPS, and then it's another roadblock. And it's their job to help you identify more disorder. Oh, your leg is broken in 3 spots. Maybe you can't progress from here. By no means are they looking for 6 packs. Oh, 6 pack, 8 pack. All right, cool. You're perfect for our branch. No, they're looking for disorder so they can say, all right, this is a person we can take a risk on. We can invest in. Because trust me, it does cost money to have someone join. Like they're paying a full, pay and salary, and if you have a family, all that costs money to move you around the country, around the world. It's expensive. So yeah, don't wait forever. Don't wait till next year. For what? You know how much you can accomplish in a year? 2 months, 3 months, 1 month, a couple weeks, a day. There's something called Parkinson's law. It's one of my favorite definitions that I tend to bring up quite often whenever someone, you know, shout out my boy Chroma in DC, because we're low key like accountability partners. Like he told me one of his goals or a couple of his goals. I told him a couple of my goals. And then, we just check in with each other every now and then. Just, you know, bro, you working, bro? You know, you putting in work? And so yeah, he told me a couple of his goals, and I mentioned this. Wait, it's a book as well. Um, but Parkinson's law, and I'll briefly read the definition to you. So Parkinson's law can best be described as work expanding so as to fill in the time available for its completion. So to put that in simple terms, if you give yourself a year to achieve something, it's going to take a year at least to achieve it based on the time parameters you set for it. It's something that, I believe I made a video to supervisors and, NCOs and what have you. If you want your troop, or, let's say you have someone who works under you, because in any environment, there's a given hierarchy. Someone's in charge of this set environment. Then they have a boss, and then they have a boss, and then they have a boss, etc. So if you have someone under you who works for you, you need a task completed. Well, of course, you can give them till Friday at 4 p.m. to complete something, or you can give them to the end of the day, whichever one you set. Provided you enforce, the standard, it will take at least that long. Whatever time parameter you set, it's going to take that long to complete the project, because the mind takes the path of least resistance, and we, in most cases, prioritize without thinking. So if you say, I give myself till, let's say August 25th, I give myself till 2024 to lose 10 pounds, join the Air Force. It's going to take you at least that long. But if you say, I have till October 1st, and you get some accountability partners, you tell some close people around you, like, listen, if you see me going for the tacos, no. If you see me, not checking into the gym today, hit me up. If you see me texting at the gym, talking, taking it easy, just, I ain't broke a sweat. I've been in here for 3 hours and I'm just relaxing, enjoying myself. Say what's good to me. You see me flexing too heavy. I got $200 shoes on, but my check engine lights on. My tires are bald. Say what's good to me. A proof of love is correction. A major proof of love is correction. A major proof of caring is discernment. It comes from the knowledge of knowing someone and knowing their goals and their ambitions, and then saying, hey, your life is not going towards your goals, it's going towards disaster. You're on the wrong path. Based on what you told me, based on what I know about you, if you were going towards your goal, your actions would look like this. But instead, you're going towards comfort, which leads to regret. So yeah, whatever your goal is, cut it in half. Within reason, of course. I don't want you out here trying to run 100 miles in a day, you know. But do realize your body will adapt, your mind will adapt to whatever pressures surrounding it. That's why the Marines basic training is more difficult, relatively to the Air Force basic training, because the point of the Marines, the purpose of the Marine Corps is different than the purpose of the Air Force. They don't need me to do 20 pull-ups. They need me to be different. Same thing applies to, like, let's say you're an NCO, or you're a leader of a group of people. You have a meeting. You have an hour meeting that you've established a lot of time for. Cut the meeting in half, 30 minutes. Have everyone email their questions in, their concerns in, their comments in, and that's all you discuss is what you plan for. And you realize how more effective you are, more efficient you are, more productive. So, for those of you who are waiting to be perfect to join, and I understand the sentiment. I understand where you're coming from in terms of, I want to be perfect. I want to be ready. I don't want anything to be wrong. I want to have a smooth transition from civilian world to the military world. Well, you can't do it by yourself. First of all, the military is designed for it to not be a smooth transition. Um, Mostly mentally, some physically. Financially, it should be somewhat smooth if you plan, if you prepare, if you're disciplined. And then the rest is really, it's really on you. It's really on you. So don't wait for your perfect candidate, to be elected to any seat. You know, don't wait for the perfect dollar amount. Don't wait for the 1st of January. You have opportunity that is a short window. You don't know when it ends. A lot of you are going to find out, you know, in terms of regret. I had planned to do this last year, but I wanted to go here, but then, there are a lot of plans I had that, quarantine, COVID ruined it. And now I'm living in a place of, I wish I went to Florida that one weekend that I decided to just, you know, stay in bed. I didn't feel like going to the airport. I didn't feel like spending the money. Quarantine, I'll end with this. Quarantine and COVID combined are a sample. It's a small sample of how people who are in their 70s and 80s and 90s, how they currently live. It's a sample of how you will live one day if you don't give effort now. Because one day you're going to be in that place where you can't just up and leave your house, not because of COVID or certain issues in society, whatever, but because you're just not physically capable. Your sight's not the same. Your hip is out of place constantly. Like there will come a day where what you have currently, you'll miss it. I thought about this last night when I was leaving work at 7 o'clock at night. Like there will come a day where I will miss these moments. You ask anybody who retires out the military, you ask them, would you do it over again? Yes, in a heartbeat. Yes, people that retired. What do you miss most about the military? The family aspect, the having people around you. Things that we take for granted. YouTube videos. People lose channels every single day. You know, just something to think about. People think that opportunity is cyclical. It's not. You wake up and you're able to just roll out of bed and you walk to the bathroom, and for some people that's a 10-minute chore. For some people who don't have legs, you get the point. You get the point. So utilize your time properly. Don't overestimate the time allotted because you included laziness and you factored in comfort and you factored in convenience. Sometimes you have to factor in discipline and cut the crust off. Sometimes all you need is discipline, obedience. So yeah, I challenge you. October 1st, I'm not going to do a huge, big challenge or whatever. Make a commitment to yourself, your friends around you, your family around you, your support system. If you don't have a support system, I would challenge you to ask yourself why you don't have a support system. Is there something that you're doing wrong? Have you pushed people away? You know, do you have a pride issue? Are people around you that you just haven't asked for help? Are you too prideful to tell people, hey, I feel alone? I feel like I'm by myself in this process. Not, making, passive aggressive posts on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. I don't need anyone. I'll do this by myself. No. The second you get to the military, the second you get to basic training, you're gonna realize I can't make a bed by myself. You know, I can't lint roll the back of my coat jacket while I'm wearing it. I can't clean an entire latrine bathroom by myself. 10 plus showers. You're gonna realize very quickly I need people. The sooner you realize that, the better. Got a super chat. Ben H says, challenge accepted. I will hit my goal by October 1st. We'll see. We'll see. Now realize that that one statement that you just made has so many different implications, assumptions, actions built in. By saying you are going to do something, that must be followed by action, not hope, not prayer, but action. There's certain things, and just to address the religious folks who probably got, who felt different about that last statement. Certain things are within your power as a human being. That is your responsibility to accomplish. I grew up in a household where my parents would pray that bills get paid. That's not a thing. There's principles that we must live by on earth. We exchange our time for currency, and the currency pays bills provided we manage it properly. Anyway, shout out to Ben H. Take action now. Do the thing. Do the thing. So, yeah, that's the video. I will see y'all in the next video. So it was good.